and we'll be able to get that done pretty soon. Hey, what are you doing there, mate? Welcome to D-Mop Garage. We're working on the 54 barn door single cab, and if you're new to the channel, go to the playlist and check out this mess in the previous episode, and the one before that, and the one before that. Yeah, we're going to get this thing on the road. Let's have a look and see what we're doing in today's episode. You would have remembered, lower floor there, we got that fabricated up, and it came up pretty damn good, except for my burnt leg. I have the biggest welt on my foot from having molten... Yeah, anyway, this one here is the top section now, and you can see I just gave it a very light sandblast. I need to go back over it again, but it is got some, yeah, it's not looking too good in that area there. The bottom is completely rotted away, and this side here is completely rotten away. The top is probably the only decent part in it. Now, you can't buy this. It's actually, I think, unique to the single cab barn door, having these little ribs across here, which I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have seen some for sale that only have 3 or 4 in the front, but anyway, we're going to restore it. We have to add a little strip at the bottom on both sides, and yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about this bit here. I think that is the lip, so this is where we will probably just chop it straight across here, weld this part in first, and then deal with the Swiss cheese up there. Oh, don't know. All right, let's start cracking away at it. So this is the progress so far. So what I've done, I've just marked a line across there where we're going to make the incision, and I've got a piece of sheet metal, which I have put this little complex little bend in it, just using the vise, and you can see that's going to marry up like that to those angles there. Right, that makes sense. And then we obviously have to do the same on the other side there. Bend that up, and then we can get this piece welded in. I'll bend up the flap at the bottom as well, and then go from there. Yeah, so it's a lot of measurements, obviously, to get it correct on both sides, and sometimes you get it wrong and you've got to rebend it, but I think that, and what I've got there, I think that's pretty much bang on. So we'll bend this side up here and see how she looks. Okay, so some more progress. You can see what I'm doing here, using the butt weld clamps, and I've just tacked along. This part here is still not good, but at least we can get this bottom piece in. You can see we used our little die stamper again to try and get that little part back in again. So yeah, this will take a bit of time just to weld this up, and then we'll have to try and replicate this section here, which that's going to be challenging. We'll see how that all turns out. Let's keep going, eh? Righto, so let's have a bit of a look-see here. I've ground back those ones just very, very roughly for now. I've still got a little bit to go. Now, this is that little piece here that we have to repair. You can see it is not good at all. Now, you can tackle this a couple of ways. Now, there's a lot going on in terms of complex curves here. So to simplify it, what you can do is, we know that's all brand new metal here, so I can cut back to that line and just chop out what I've marked here already, and then that's not a hard piece to make. I mean, it's a flat piece. It's got obviously a very slight curve in it with one punch. We can use our little dies over there to replicate this, like we've done that part already, and then we can weld this part in. Now, if you were to take it a bit further across, you'd have 2 to do. I think this one's all right. There's a little hole there. I reckon I can plug that up. And this section here, once this is welded in, then I will chop this piece out and then marry it back up to that. So it's just an easy way to try and, I suppose, comprehend what you're doing. So we'll do that. We're going to chop this out, and then we can basically just make it. All right, let's get into it. Okay, guys. Well, something came in the mail. It's a big D-Mop Garage banner. I've been working on this logo for a while, and soon I'm going to have some merchandise for you people. So stickers and mugs and t-shirts and all that jazz. You know, I just was trying to come up with some sort of logo that I like. I wanted something warm, Hawaii-ish, tropical. So, because it's so bloody cold at the moment. Anyway, let's get back to this thing. Yeah, I'll let you know when all that stuff's available. If anyone wants stickers and banners and all that sort of stuff. We've chopped this piece out. That's the bit we've got to remake. Let's go up to the table here, because this is where it is. Yeah, so that's what we've got to make. You can see it's, yes, not very good. All right, so we'll get some dimensions off this and transfer it to a sheet. Okay, guys, so this is what I have made so far. And I did have to do a little cut just on that section there, because I couldn't quite get that thing to relief, but it will sit in like that once it's all welded in. I just used that radius. I used a pipe over here, that pipe there in the press, just to press it across. And then I just had to just finish out that little corner there a little bit tricky, but it will work. Once it's all in there, I think it'll be fine. All right, let's get this welded in.
A few moments later.
Bada boom, bada bim, and she's welded in. Now, what we're going to do now, that obviously it's got to all be ground back. Now we're going to just chop that whole section out and rebuild that as well. You can see there's just got so many little holes in it. There's no way you're going to fill them all, so it's just easier to cut it out and use it as a template and keep going. All right, guys, so here's that little piece I just made. Had to do some relief cuts on that thing and then just weld it up again. And that is going to be live like so in there. So let's get that welded in and grind this all back, and then we can continue on the other side of it. All right, we'll get this ground back and see what she looks like. And there you go, guys. That part is finito. What we need to do now is work on the other side. And you can see here, yeah, that's not good either. I think we've got to add about, probably 4 inches, 5 inches, something like that to the bottom. Maybe 3, I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of work here too. So I'll get a sheet. We'll mark out all these pressings, and then we'll start giving them a belting on the die, because we've got I think they just terminate right there, but I'll probably just chop it back a little bit higher up anyway. So yeah, a lot more work on this side. So let's continue. So what we're doing, we're stamping, and you can see I've just stamped one already, and don't really need to use the whole system. I've just made a little die here which just rests on top, and then I just give it a belt with a hammer. So that first one is done, and we'll just continue. We've got 2 more to do, or 4 more to do. So yeah, let's get them done. Right, there's our stamps. We've got to do the terminations on the end, which we'll do that in the vise. Now, it's obviously buckled, so we'll just put that on the ground and dolly out the issues. Bring it up to the bench. So there's our piece. So we've got our pressings in the middle, and then we've also got our little kick down and then step up, which is going to emulate the sides like that. So that's ready to go. All we've got to do now is kick up the bottom lip. So we've just got to do a measurement from here, kick this up, then we can chop that and get this welded in and call it good. All right, let's get some folding done. Righto, so bada boom, bada bam. There we go. I've given it a wire wheel back, and she is finito. You can see all that brand new front. A lot of work. That was, to get this to this stage was almost 2 days work. And I mean, look, it's probably a part that if it was available, you'd probably buy it because of how badly rusted it was. but we didn't have a choice, so we had to fix it. So anyway, it's all done. We'll get some phosphoric acid on there. We can just leave it. I will have to paint, before I weld this in for its final time, the inside of it's going to have to be painted. So that'll probably be the next thing I'll do very soon. But yeah, she came up pretty good. I'm really stoked with that die that I made, because, you know, I'm able to just punch out little sections that we need to fix up, and works a treat. All right, let's keep moving forward. So we're going to start on these floor pieces now. And I was going to sandblast them, but it's just going to take way too long. And I've got this coral ceramic wheel that I'm going to try out. So we're just going to, I've actually sandblasted the underneath of this one already, just that little section there. This is the repair we've got to do, but I'm just going to try and use that coral wheel and see how much of this rust it just pulls off. Let's as you can see, this is pretty bad. This is probably the worst one. Now my plan is, I'm probably going to make a cut straight across here, all the way to the edge, and then bring it just on the inside of this one, all the way to the end, and just replace this whole section. I should be able to put that die in, the stamping I should say, and then that's just literally a fold, a slight fold straight and then fold up. So that's the plan for that one. Then obviously we've got a couple of small spots here, and then the corner there to fix. Shouldn't be too difficult. This part's actually pretty good condition, I think, because water wasn't sitting on it, but down the bottom there is rotten, and obviously this lip down here is rotten too, so I'll probably have to replace just this bottom bit. So there's probably 2 days work in this panel, I'd say. Just looking at it, there's a fair bit to do. So the other one's not as bad. The other one, I think this one here's got a few holes, but it's probably, yeah, it's hard to say. I'll just, yeah, there's a little bit of holes here, a little bit of holes here, probably in the same spot realistically. Looking at it carefully, yeah, so that's pretty pitted there, so probably the same repair. And this section here looks pretty pitted as well. So look, you're probably not going to get it perfect, but you know, that's what a bit of filler's for down the track. When we get to paint, we'll be just filling in all the little pits and imperfections, but it's really just getting the majority of the rust out. So, well, let's keep going on this thing.
Two hours later.
Okay guys, so we've got a little bit of a test piece made up, and that's going to fit in like that, like so. Then obviously we'll trim back the lip. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. We've just got to do a little bit more bending just on this corner here, and then we'll be ready to tack this thing in. Okay, so we'll get this tack welded in position. It's looking good. Everything lines up. The pressings look good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We've still obviously got that rest of it to repair. I mean, that was the worst of it. The other one would be a lot easier. So yeah, all right, let's get this thing tacked out. Okay guys, a bit more progress. We've got this piece here welded in, and now we're going to cut these panels here out, these two here. I think these, yeah, this one here is pretty bad too, so we'll probably just do the two of them. And then we can start on the corner here, get this sorted as well. All right, let's do some chopping. All right, we'll get that transferred over and cut it out. Okay, we've got our little patch panel put in with a couple of butt clamps, and we're just going to feel with our finger to make sure we're level. And if we're not level, we can use the screwdriver just to get the two surfaces at the right angle. So right here is perfect. I can whack a tack right here just to start with. We'll give that a flat back, and then we can attack the whole thing in one go. Righto guys, so you can see here we've just added this little extra piece in here which we have to grind back, and we'll be able to get that done pretty soon. Hey, what are you doing there, mate? You got a cold? You do? Oh, all right. Well, you better go back to bed then if you've got a cold. It's pretty bloody freezing outside, isn't it? Righto, catch you later, buddy. All right, guys, so we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks again for the new subscribers. And merch is coming soon if anyone wants stuff, so catch you soon.